Hi, I'm Courtney with Acuity Advisory Corp, and I'm here with Allan Frame and Alain Lambert with Beyond Lithium. Allan Frame is the CEO and president of Beyond Lithium, and Alain Lambert is a co-founder and the capital markets advisor. And they have recently began their phase 2 exploration program at their properties in Ontario. And we just get to learn a little bit more about their properties and their project and how things are going. So thank you so much to both of you for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for the invitation.
This is awesome. So I know a lot of news has been flowing from the Ontario property lately. And Alain, I know that you just came back from a site visit. But my first question actually is here for Allan. So you recently announced in your most recent news release that came out yesterday, actually, the discovery of an LCT Pegmatite Intrusive stock at your Cosgrave Lake property. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. We did just recently make an announcement, and I love the name of this company, Beyond Lithium, because this announcement to me is beyond expectations. Like, I'm really thrilled with it. It's sort of part of the educational process, so to have our shareholders and friends totally understand the significance of this recent announcement. I think the best way for me to do it is to provide everyone with an overview using excerpts from the announcement, a little bit of the conversation from Graham Evans from the field, and then capping it off with the Coles Notes version from me. So in using that format, I would like to say in our announcement, we say in the bullet points, Beyond Lithium discovers new LCT Pegmatite Intrusive stock, also known as a fertile pluton, at its Cosgrave Lake prospect. That's a really dynamic statement, but you have to kind of understand what it really means, and I'll do my best to do that. The bullet points also state that the pluton is over 266 hectares in size, which is comparable to the Pine Portage and the MNW plutons located in the Georgia Lake District. You know, if you did research into those, you'd see those are very significant plutons. This is a big deal. We continue to say in the bullet points that results from our channel samples of 2-barrel pegmatites at the Pluton show comparable geochemical values to other known fertile plutons. They have similar cesium, lithium, barium values to those of the Tanco fertile pluton located at Bernie Lake, Manitoba, and are elevated compared to the Glacier Lake batholith. Now, this is important because if you did your research on Tanco, you'd know that Tanco is actually a project in Manitoba, and it's actually a mine. And I quote from their website, this is Tanco. We have a world-renowned pegmatite, lithium, cesium, and tantalum that has been in commercial production and operation for over 50 years. So, you know, to us, this is a pretty exciting time. I'd also like to take a moment and quote from our consulting geologist, Graham Evans, largely quoted. And this is his opinion upon the discovery, which Alain, I'm sure, will be able to elaborate on it as well. So Graham says, the significance of this discovery is this coarse pegmatite-rich intrusive makes it the first new discovery of any of these lithium-bearing vapor-rich late intrusives out of the known camp. The first, the volume of vapor phase in this intrusion stock gives us potential for a lot of lithium outboard of this, and that's a brand new discovery that is as significant as finding new spodumene dikes. Those are really powerful statements. Super powerful statement. So what does it mean? You know, what does it break down to in English? It means that, you know, our exploration team, which has put 10 projects into phase 2 already, has on one of those projects discovered something that gives us an extreme advantage over other explorers. We have a whole new Pluton to explore. And, you know, it does have lithium. It's got all the right elements in it. Whether it turns out to be commercial or not, we're about to prove. But this is a tremendous step up. You know, it's like waking up and finding the gift horse under your tree. So this lights up Cosgrave for us, makes it really, really important and interesting. So we're absolutely thrilled with it, totally thrilled. And if any of the investors or shareholders have any additional questions, please give us a call and let us know. because this is beyond expectations for Beyond Lithium. We're very, very happy.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you, Alan, for that description and that answer. So, Elaine, I know that you were on the site when the discovery was made. How was the discovery made? And could you also give us a little bit more background on what a pegmatite intrusive stock is?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Courtney. And thank you, Alan, for that. I did get myself quite a few questions yesterday from investors asking me to explain in layman's term, and I think you did a good job highlighting the major points. And yes, I was on site, which brings me to explaining what phase one exploration is, because we've talked a lot about that in our news releases. And we started with phase one, which means having people, geologists and prospectors, go to each and every one of our 64 different projects across Ontario, take samples. We send the samples to the lab. We've got more than 700 samples that have been shipped to the lab. Results are coming in. And when people go onto the site, they also do a lot of mapping and data collecting. And when that gets to our VP exploration, Lauren Sang, then he discusses with the rest of the technical team and with Al Frame and myself. And then depending on what we see and the importance of what we see, we go into various properties at various times, at least once a month, probably every 3 weeks. We're probably going to be going now every 2 weeks, given the level of activity. And we had our prospectors had come across very large outcrops with very large barrel showings, which is a good indicator. You want to find those if you're looking for lithium. And then we channel sample those, and then we channel sample those and got the results back. And when we look at the results, we said, well, it looks like we might be part of a what people call a pluton or a stock, which is really a large intrusive body of magma that comes to the surface, to the crack of the earth. It brings a ton of mineralization with it, and it crystallizes at the surface. So we were on site with Lawrence and Graham Evans, our senior geologist, Paul Baxter, senior field geologist, and we started looking at these amazing outcrops. And based on visual observation and all of the technical data from the assays, it became clear that we had what is called pluton or a stock, which is, call it the main pipe. This is the location where the mineralization has come to the surface. And then through the cracks and faults of the earth, it generally trends in this part of the Ontario to the northeast, but we're not sure exactly if it's strictly to the northeast. It could be to the southwest. So we immediately, upon discovering this call it pipe, this major pipe which brings the mineralization to the surface, we stake more ground to the southwest. So what does it mean now? Well, it means that we know that there's this pipe. We know that mineralization came into it. As Al said, we know it has lithium in it and all of these other elements that you want to find. And our geological model that actually show that the further away you are from this pipe, this pluton or this stock, the more the concentration of lithium is. So further away could be 100 meters, it could be 4 kilometers, it could be 8 kilometers. We don't know, but what differentiates us in that part of Ontario, the Georgia Lake, is that it's the first major discovery of this pipe, this large intrusive body that came with the mineralization in a very long time. There is a similar one, which is about 2.5 kilometers to the north of us, called the MNW stock. It was found in the 50s. And so with that discovery on our property, now we're going to step out, systematically sample everything from the source to the northeast and the southwest. We're going to sample and map and look for that spodumene, and hopefully we'll be drilling soon there. And what I mean by soon is hopefully some shallow holes to tell us more about the geological system that we have discovered, hopefully sometime this fall.
That's amazing. Wow, sometime this fall. That's awesome. So obviously with this new news, maybe some things have changed in your plans. Allan, this is a question for you. How does Beyond Lithium's business plan differ from your peers?
Thanks for that question, Courtney. Well, there are several ways in my view. Firstly, I think we have an extraordinary share structure. We have 28 million shares, which upon success, should result in some good market torque or price appreciation. And we have certainly lots of capital markets experience through myself and Alain. We also, we don't forget, we are the largest landholder of lithium exploration projects in Ontario. That definitely sets us apart. And we come to sort of the meat of the whole thing here. We have an exploration team that is really good. The shareholders are getting their values worth out of these guys, I'll tell you, because it's Lawrence's team, with Graham and Paul, and we've got Jason, and now Byron in the field. These guys are extraordinary at their businesses, as you can see from our recent announcement. And I have no doubt we'll see more exciting news that's beyond expectations once again, because of the team and their abilities. I mean, to go there through 150,000 hectares and nail a fresh Pluton is an incredible feat to me. I think we have the A team here. Relative to our peers, we're still the least expensive company in terms of market cap, per hectare by a long shot. So I think there's still some extreme value to be unlocked. And as demonstrated in our recent announcement, we've got the team to find these things and unlock the mysteries. So I'm very happy, very enthusiastic. I think we are unique to ourselves. And I think, and optimistically, I think we're going to deliver some extreme value for shareholders.
Maybe in conclusion, if I may, I'll add to that. I would say investors who are interested in the lithium space have probably noticed that most junior exploration companies in the lithium space are poking away at showings that have been known since the 80s and sometimes the 50s, right? Because these were geologically mapped a long time ago. And then when lithium came in a mineral that was much needed commercially, people staked those existing showings and started poking holes in them. Some with success, some without, some with amazing success. What Beyond Mineral is all about is not only finding these types of what we call pegmatite dikes, which are parts of a geological model that came out of the pipe that I mentioned, or a type of pipe like this, a Pluton or a stock. So not only we're looking for these parts of a system, but we're always trying to understand geologically what's happening, and go for the source. Because if you can find the source, and if the source of great lithium mineralization is on your property, then you gotta have a very, very large prospective system. And if you look at one of the things that stands out from the PMET announcement and their great resource, one thing that sets them apart is the scale and the width of everything that they have. They've got kilometers of prospective ground, which is what we are doing. So with that, Courtney, thank you for having us. And I hope that this short explanation from Al and I will help investors understand the significance of the Cosgrave discovery.
Yes, thank you so much to both of you for coming on and explaining a little bit more about yesterday's news release. It's really exciting stuff that's happening. So if you guys aren't already, make sure to follow Beyond Lithium to keep updated about their story. Allan, Alain, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.